learnings on Vidura today with you all. So let us go to another slide. Next slide, Prabhuji, please. Who
Already
was
showed.
Vidura? Yes, who was Vidura? Vidura, an expert advisor, politically renounced, provided apt instructions, was born of Vyasadev and a maid servant. He was formerly Yamraj, cursed by Mandavya Muni to be born a Shudra. Srimad Bhagavat 3.5.20 says, I know that you are now Vidura due to the cursing of Mandavya Muni, and that formerly you were King Yamraj, the great controller of living entities after their death. You were begotten by the son of Satyavati Vyasadev in the kept wife of his brother. And SB 3.5.21 says, your good self is one of the eternal associate of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, for whose sake the Lord, while going back to his abode, left instructions with me. This is saying Maitre Muni. Now, let us know Prabhuji third slide is showing about Vidura's life. It has three pictures. In first picture, Vidura advising Dhritarashtra. Second, Vidura and his wife serving Krishna. And in third, Vidura protecting Pandu's family. Actually, yes, sorry
Mm.
for network. So we already know about the birth of Vidur Maharaj. Now we go further. Vidura was extremely righteous as he was Yamaraj. In his past life, he acted as an advisor and guide to Dhritarashtra, just like Chanakya Pandit. Srimad Bhagavat 3.1.10 says, Vidura gave instructions to Dhritarashtra exactly to the point. His advice is well known and instructions by Vidura are approved by expert ministers of state. He also protected Pandu's family his whole life. When Lakshagraha was made, Vidura indicated Yudhishthir that there is some problem, and later on he went there and told them how to rescue themselves. In 1.13.8, Yudhishthir says, Api smarthano yushmat pakshat chaya sameditan vipad ganat vishgnadar mochita yat samatrika. Maharaj Yudhishthir said, my uncle, do you remember how you always protected us along with our mother from all sorts of calamities? Your partiality, like the wings of a bird, saved us from poisoning and arson. Vidura and Krishna were great friends. 3.13.5 says Krishna was pleased to place his lotus feet on the lap of Vidura because Vidura was very meek and gentle. And we all know when Krishna went to Hastinapur as a messenger, peace messenger, Duryodhana arranged lot of bhoga and to show his opulence, but Krishna never ate there. He went to Vidura's house, where Vidurani, in ecstasy and overwhelmed, she just served Krishna banana peels, and Krishna was eating them with love. Even if somebody give banana peels, we will throw it, so loving that he took very lovingly. He accepted Vidurani's banana peels, and so we know how close he was to Vidura. When Duryodhana insulted Vidura in the palace, he left it immediately without taking care of any opulence. It shows his renounced nature. And we see now the politicians, even people want to throw them out, but they don't want to leave their position. And Vidura was in a very big position. Still, he In a moment, he left and he went for pilgrimage. His conduct was ideal for a pilgrimage. Vidura was an ideal hearer who was asked questions submissively from Maitreya about Krishna Katha, which were important for all. He showed compassion and forgiveness towards Dhritarashtra. He never considered what had happened before, but he went back to Hastinapur showing compassion to Dhritarashtra so he can get higher goal in his life. Vidura's humility was evident when he was ready to accept Uddhava, who was younger as his spiritual master. And when he asked questions from Uddhava about Krishna and all the other family members, Uddhava went into trance, remembering Krishna. But Vidura waited patiently for him to come out of trance. Humble Vidura inquires to Maitre, begin with the topic relevant to the common man who is suffering in this world, yet he also expressed his exclusive interest in Krishna Katha. Understand, in response, Maitre described the magnificent creation of the universe originating from Mahavishnu, this expansion into it as Garbhodakshai Vishnu and the manifestation of Virat Rupa, but ultimately he humbly declared inability to describe the Lord's unlimited glories. Vidura's profound questions are in Srimad Bhagavat 3.7, and answers to those questions are found throughout the entire Bhagavatam. So now we know how important Vidura was. Prabhuji, please, next slide. By seeing Vidura's life, we can understand about his personality and summarize that he was an ideal person who was always with righteousness, always taking care of his brothers and family. He was bold enough to tell Dhritarashtra that you should get rid of Duryodhana in right beginning, as he will destroy your whole kula. So he was Durdarshi too, always devoted to Krishna, loving to hear about him. He was an idle hearer as he was focused, progressive, very eager to hear about Krishna. His questions was purposeful and benefiting to others. His inquiry was faithful. Vidura was a great personality. He accepted Krishna as his worshipable Lord and follows his instructions wholeheartedly. Here I have showed a table also in this slide, which is from Bhakti Subodhini, and it is telling saintly qualities of Vidura. He is Amal Atmana. He is a saintly person. Agad Bodham, unfathomed knowledge. Sattama, purest. Adrita, one who so adores to hear about Lord. Shraddhanaya, unto one eager to receive, eager to hear with faith. Ashruta Bhagavat Katham Shatanandam Param Labhe, achieved transcendental bliss by hearing the narration of the pastime of Lord. Mahabhagavat, a great devotee of the Lord. Bhadra, a sober person. Saushilya, gentle. Vidwan, learned one. Anagha, sinless one. Dvij Uttama, best amongst the Brahmanas. Ekantikaha, unalloyed devotee. Suhrat, intimate friend. Prabhuji, next slide, please. Yes. Now, as we know about Vidura, his life, character, and personality, so what teachings or lessons we can learn from Vidura's life and character? Let us see. So, first of all, we see that when he went to pilgrimage, his conduct was ideal. So, we should try to do everything perfect. Whatever we do, like if we sleep, we should sleep perfectly. If we wake up, we should wake up at morning time. And we should do art. If we are doing deity worship, we should do perfect. If we are chanting, we should chant perfectly. So then only you can become a pure devotee. Srila Prabhupada told, if I can prepare a pure devotee, my life will be successful. And we know how many pure devotees Prabhupada. So how we can become pure devotee? By trying to do everything perfect, like Vidur Maharaj was doing. Till he was in Hastinapur, he was advising Dhritarashtra and protecting Pandu's family. But he went for pilgrimage just as in sadhu, roaming in forest, eating whatever he was getting, sleeping on earth. In Srimad Bhagavat, it comes that his dhoti was always wet, means he was taking regular bath in sacred rivers, one after another. So his dhoti was always wet. On pilgrimage, when he went, he was very eager to hear Krishna Katha. When he met to Uddhava, he was very happy. So we should always feel very happy when we see Vaishnavas. Vaishnav etiquette book says it is a great offense if we see Vaishnava and don't feel happy. But nowadays we see even devotees don't greet each other Hare Krishna. If we will speak Hare Krishna, whose benefit is this? By speaking Hare Krishna, only we ourselves will be benefited. साधु संग साधु संग साधु संग सर्व शास्त्र कहे लव मात्र sadhu sang sarv siddhi hai. Devotee association is the best. I know I four shlokas says shloka number 4 says datati pratigranati guhi makyati prachati bhungate bhojate chaiv shadvidam priti lakshanam. So we should feel great pleasure when we are in devotee association. We should exchange loving relationship with each other. After meeting Uddhava, he inquired about Krishna and all family members. Uddhava went into trance, just thinking about Krishna. But Vidur Maharaj didn't interrupt him, but waited patiently to calm him out of trance. As a devotee, we should be very patient. Always be patient. I know I third verse says Utsah Nishchaya Dhairyat Tattat Karma Pravartanat Sang Tyagat Satto Vritah Sadbir Bhakti Prasidyati. This verse tells 6 principles to the execution of pure devotional service. One of them is to be patient. Vidur Maharaj told Uddhava to become his guru. It shows his humility. He never mind his age. So as a devotee, we should be very humble. There should be no false Trinadapi Sunichena. Sorry for network. We should be humble more than a blade of grass. Vidura was eager to know about Lord's avatars and topic related to Krishna Katha. As a devotee, we should develop taste for hearing Krishna Katha. And when we will hear, then only our heart will get cleansed. We will get purified and we will get attracted more and more towards Krishna. When will we hear that how compassionate Krishna is, it will increase our faith in him. Because when we see Krishna was charioteer of Arjuna, whole 18 days Arjuna by his leg, by his feet, he was kicking Krishna to go right and left. If somebody touch even with his feet to us, we feel so angry. But Krishna was accepting that. How compassionate he is. Can we think over this? So, if we will like this, if we will hear about his opulence, his strength, then we will never feel fear. So, it is very important to hear about Krishna. So, Vidura, when he was on pilgrimage, he showed his eagerness to hear about Lord. As a devotee, when we go to Dham, we should give preference to hear from Sadhu because we don't have eyes to take darshan. We don't have that eyes which can take darshan. Still, Krishna is in Vrindavan and Mahaprabhu is in Mayapur. But can we see them? We go to Dham? No. But we can take darshan by hearing from a sadhu. Vidura was an ideal hearer. So, as we earlier discussed, so we can check all the qualities and try to develop in us as a devotee because it depends on the person who is hearing how the Vakta, speaker, will speak. For example, same Atmaram verse, Mahaprabhu explained Sarvabhaum Bhattacharya in 9 ways, but to Sanatan Goswami 61 ways. It depends on on hearer how to get more. So to get more, we should develop qualities of ideal hearer. SB 3.5.13 purport says, Srila Prabhupada says, Krishna Katha and Krishna are the same. Vidura wants to remember Krishna through Maitreya's explanations. So we should also try to get Krishna by hearing Krishna Katha. Even Kalindi, what happened? All the queens of Krishna, after departure of Krishna, they were feeling so much separation. But Kalindi was okay. So one day, all the queens went to Kalindi and they told, we know that you were Pativrata, it's still you are okay after you are not feeling so much separation. So she told, yes, it is true, I'm not feeling so much separation. They asked why. So then she told, actually I take association of Srimad Bhagavat and Krishna is in Srimad Bhagavat, so I never feel so much separation from my husband. After that, queens decided to go to and hear Srimad Bhagavat. So we should always associate what with Krishna Katha, and Pavaneshwar Prabhuji is telling us very nicely Bhagavatam, very nicely he is describing us. So we should do it, we should try it. Vidura was very bold. He says, Dhritarashtra, get rid of your son Duryodhana for the benefit of family. He is offense personified, envious of Lord Krishna, and causes inauspiciousness. So, as a devotee, we should also be bold when we are preaching and when we are dealing with Mayavadis or Shunyavadis. As Srila Prabhupada says, truth is truth, whether it is sweet or not sweet. If somebody is thief, we should tell he is thief. Also, otherwise, he will give pain to others. Vidura is highly elevated and pious, yet he thought that he had lost his piety by the association of the diplomatic Dhritarashtra and Duryodhana, and was not fit to associate with the Lord at once. Therefore, although Lord Krishna was personally present in the world at that time, Vidura did not approach him directly, but decided to travel to holy places to achieve greater piety in order to advance nearer to the Lord. We should also avoid association of non-devotee as it is told in NOI verse 3. SB
Mataji, kindly
says,
summarize.
yes, Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji. SB says, struck by the short, sharp words of Duryodhana and placing his bow on the door, Vidura left his brother's palace without being sorry, considering the acts of the Lord's Maya to be supreme. Vidura understands the influence of the Lord's external energy on Duryodhana, who was heading towards his own ruination, and he saw how the Lord's internal energy was helping him to engage fully in devotional service. So we should also use our intelligence to understand Krishna's instructions or our Guru's instruction by surrendering unto them and depending on their mercy. Insulted and banished from kingdom by Duryodhana, Vidura concealed. Okay, this we have taken already. So a devotee should see the hand of the Lord in all situations and surrender unto him. Matra, BZ 2.14 says, Matra sparshastu konteya, shitoshna sukha dukkada, agma paino nityansh tam sitiksha bharata. Faithful, pleasing inquiry and purposeful questions. Vidura questions Uddhava with great affection and confidence and in a pleasing manner. His questions to Maitri was purposeful on the higher level. His questions were asked to benefit others. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Tadviddi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya updekshanti te jnanam jnanistatvadarshinaha. So a devotee should learn to inquire with humility with the purpose of progressing in spiritual life. Glorifies the teacher. Vidura compares Maitreya to an auspicious devotee who travels the world just to enlighten the ignorant. Teaches devotee to glorify and remain grateful to serve the teacher. Yasya prasadat bhagavad prasado. Yasya prasada nagati kutopi. Dhyayam istuvam tasya yashastri sandhya. Vande Guru Shri Charnaravindam. By the mercy of the spiritual master, one is benefited by the mercy of Krishna. So we should also glorify our teacher and surrender unto him. I hope this presentation will help all of you and me or myself also by understanding Vidura's life and character and lessons what we discussed right now. And by following them in our life, we can become a pure devotee and can go back to Godhead. Hare Krishna and best of luck to all of you. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandvat Pranam.
Thank you very much for nicely presenting the life sketch of Vidura and drawing lessons from different events of in his life. Thank you. Any devotees would like to ask some questions?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, ma'am.
Mataji has covered that he gave liberation to Dhritarashtra. He came back for that. That I didn't hear, or she has not covered that.
Yeah,
Yes.
That is the important.
She spoke about it, but that is not necessary because now we are doing presentation for third canto. That was spoken in first canto. That is not required also. Maybe she spoke about it also, but that is not required here.
Okay. Hare Krishna.
Yeah.
It was wonderful presentation. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you. Other devotees want to ask anything? Anyone want to make any comment? Any comment or any question?
No, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Okay. So Mataji had made actually many things, many points. She said all these wonderful qualities she brought out, and she spoke elaborately. So there is nothing to left. So thank you, Mataji. Thank you very much for your nice presentation. So yeah, we'll move on with the second presentation. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji and Mataji, and
It's okay.
for your
It's okay.
nice
It's okay. It's
comments.
okay.
Hare
All
Krishna,
formalities are okay.
Dandvat Pranam. Dandvat Pranam, Prabhuji. Yes.
Mataji, Madhuri Radhika
Yeah,
Mataji.
Prabhuji, I'll present.
Yes.
Yes.
So she will be speaking about the lessons from the character and activities of Lord Brahma from third canto,
Yes,
chapter
Prabhuji.
8 to chapter 20.
Yes, Prabhuji, can you all see the screen? Is it visible?
Yes. We can see
Okay.
screen and we can hear you also nicely.
Okay. Hare Krishna, seeking blessings from all the Vaishnavas here. So I'll be presenting on lessons from the characters and activities of Lord Brahma. So just to set a premise to the topic, 1 second. So just to set a premise, so already Mataji covered in her previous presentation, wherein we know that the entire narration is being told by Maitreya Muni to Vidura. So here, when Vidura asked the question to Maitreya Muni about the secondary creation. Maitreya Muni is describing the entire thing. So in that entire description, basically what happens is Lord Vishnu is sleeping on the Garbhodakai Vishnu after the devastation, and he is his eyes are closed, and all the living entities are residing in the body of Lord Vishnu. And then comes this verse where I am supposed to elaborate on this, wherein when the Lord glances on the subtle bodies of the jivas, Artha Sukshma, the Sukshma means the subtle bodies. So the material elements became agitated by the mode of passion, and they sprouted from his navel. So all the subtle bodies were, including Brahma, were in inactive state, and they sprouted from his navel. So the material elements in time became a lotus bud, that is Padma Koshas, suddenly rose up above the waters in the navel, which impelled by the awakened karmas of the jiva. Till then, karma was in an inactive form. So Vishnu was the source of the lotus, and the lotus lit up like the sun, which is self-illuminating. So till then, the sun also did not manifest, whereas the lotus was lit up, which lit up, and it was glowing like the sun. And um, after that, Lord Vishnu entered the lotus of all the planets, which reveals all the enjoyable objects for the jiva. So all the planets were in the stem of the lotus stem, and which reveals all the enjoyable objects for the jivas. Tadloka Padmam. Brahma, who is Swayambhu, that is self-born, Vedamaya, one who knows the Vedas, and appeared within that lotus made of all the planets, called the Vairaja, gross form of the universe, which at the time of devastation had entered the subtle state, now appeared. So, uh, so not necessary that it is always the lotus that sprouts up. So in this, especially wherein we are in this period, the lotus has sprouted up. It could be something else also. That's what I heard in one of the lectures. So Brahma was situated in the center of the lotus. He could not see the universe's planets, turning the head around in four directions and glancing into space. So once when Brahma came out from the lotus bud, he was bewildered, and he started looking out all around and finding out what is happening, what is it. So he turned his head all around in four directions, and that is how he developed his four heads, that is Chaturmukha, Chatvari Mukhani. Um, and he started glancing into space. So, taking shelter of the lotus, which sprouted from the water filled with the whirlpools, churned by the wind of devastation. So, here, when the water is mentioned, it's not the Garbhodakai water, but it is the water in the navel of Lord Vishnu, which is the lake that is formed. So, there are whirlpools that are formed, which are churned by the wind of devastation. He did not understand the nature of planets and the living entities. So in this, especially in this words, we understand that Brahmaji is just trying to make people understand that the power to create the universe does not belong to him. The universe does not take the form of the lotus. Here again, it is mentioned the same thing. It does not take the form of the lotus every time. Whenever it takes, it is called as Padma Kalpa. Then, after being bewildered, Lord Brahma, he started, thinking about who am I sitting on this lotus? Where did this lotus arise from? So he started getting all these questions, and there is nothing else except the lotus in the water. He couldn't see anything else except the lotus in the water. So, but he then started inquiring, but there must be something else below which supports the lotus. So when he started thinking this, so especially in this verse that is mentioned, Sat, which means intelligent or a wise person, starts inquiring. So this has ascertained that being intelligent, basically. So after the inquiry, he reflecting in this way, Brahmaji entered into the water through the tubes. So the stem, like how we have a nervous system through which, everything is being flowing. Similarly, in the stem of the lotus, there are these tubes. So here in this verse, it is mentioned through the tubes, Brahmaji entered of the through the tubes, which is mentioned as Abjanala Nadi of the stem of the lotus. So he started searching out the navel of Vishnu, from which rose the stem of the lotus. He could not reach it, although he approached close. He could not see. Here it is specially mentioned that the Lord reveals himself only when he wishes to. So basically, Lord is Swayam Jyoti. Whether we are qualified, unqualified, only by the special mercy of the Lord, one will be able to understand and see him. So this verse shows that it is impossible to reach without bhakti. And then 100 years passed for Brahma, who was searching out his source in the unfathomable darkness. So this in over here, 100 years that are mentioned, it's the human 100 years that are mentioned. So it passed for Brahma, and he was searching out the source, but he everything in vain. Basically, time, Trinemi, the chakra of Vishnu, which proclaims the approach of death for the embodied souls, destroys the lifespan. So time is an amsa of Sudarshan chakra. So here it is mentioned Trinemi, which means the three spokes of the wheel. So past, present, and future. So basically, if although he tried searching for the Lord, he was unable to reach there. So then he gave up his search with his unfulfilled desire. He returned back to the lotus, and gradually he controlled his breath and mind. He came to the samadhi state, Nivritta Chitti, with complete concentration and meditation of the Lord. And then by his practice of meditation on the Lord for 100 human years, he attained the realization of the Lord. So after that, he saw the Lord who manifested himself in his heart, Swayam Antar Hriday Avabhatam, who could not be seen previously by searching. So, especially in this entire journey of, uh, making this entire presentation. So making this entire presentation, uh, what I learned was basically without the mercy of the Lord and without the will of the Lord, nothing can be achieved. Like even if we see in the case of Pandavas and Kauravas, although the Lord was present personally in front of both the Kauravas and the Pandavas were able to see the Lord as the supreme, whereas the Duryodhana, although he saw the universal form of the Lord, he was not able to understand the supremacy of the Lord. So that's what I have learned from this entire journey of this presentation. Yeah, that's it. Thank you, Prabhuji.
No, it doesn't that much only.
Yeah, Prabhuji, that much only. So it
You
was
missed.
from 3.13 to 3.20. Actually, I did till 22.
No, you have not understood it. It is from Canto 3, chapter 8 to chapter 13 and chapter 20.
Oh, acha. I thought it's only from 13 to 22 shloka.
No. Dash, matlab from there to there. It is because Brahma's activities you can see from chapter 8 he appears, and then chapter 9 he offers prayers, and chapter 10,
Yeah,
12,
after that, all
20
the
he does the
description.
creation. Yeah,
Right.
lessons from the character
Oh,
and activities of Lord Brahma. But anyway, this is also okay. So, but if you want to add
acha.
some
I thought
points
it's only.
briefly, you can. Yeah, you can discuss about those things also. You can briefly mention if you remember
So
something.
in the later verses, actually, the Brahmaji, he describes
Later
the.
chapters, later chapters. In this verse, in this chapter, there is not much, but in the next chapters, future chapters, you have something. If you to say, you have to say something. You can say.
So later, actually, I know, matlab, the thing is, I prepared only till here. And in the next verses, actually, the description of the Lord has been mentioned, how he is, the pitambar that he wears, the color is like the.
No, not that, not that, not that. Okay, I'll give you the clue. Okay, this is like a question
Okay.
again. You take it as a question. What did Brahma
Okay.
do and why he did whatever he did? Of
Okay,
course,
okay,
this was
that's
also presented in the last month. One devotee was also spoke about it, but still, since it is in relation to
Hmm.
Brahma, taking the clue from
Hmm.
chapter 10, 12, and 20, what all Brahma did
Hmm.
and why he did.
Hmm.
You can throw some light on that.
Okay, okay. So from, you mean to say from 13th to 22nd chapter I have to do, no? You're saying
No.
3.8.30.
Forget about all the chapters. Brahmaji is known
Okay.
as the creator. So to
Hmm.
make it more simple, so what kind of
Hmm.
creation Brahma did and why he did.
Hmm. Okay.
Hmm.
Okay.
No, you will not get it. See, you will not get it. You just from your memory you can tell.
So Prabhuji, shall I present it next time then?
No, it's okay. Just you can add some point. So whatever you have presented, that is also fine. That is about Brahmaji. There also it is a one point you mentioned. I liked it very much because this point comes again and again in the Bhagavatam. If you take this Brahmaji's
Hmm.
activities also and Samudra Manthan episode also, so what we can learn from
Okay.
Bhagavatam is even though apparently externally we see that people are working very hard, but unless
Hmm.
until Lord's mercy is there, one cannot become successful in one's endeavor. Just the way
Hmm.
you took the
Right.
example of the Kauravas, Pandavas. Pandavas were able to take the mercy of Lord Krishna, but Kauravas not. So Vijayastu Panduputranam Esha Paksha Janardana. So there is
Right.
Jaya for Panduputras because in whose Paksha Janardana is there. And in Samudra Manthan also, the Devatas got victory because in their Paksha, Lord Ajita was there.
Hmm.
And here also, Lord
Right.
Brahma is making his endeavors to try to find out where the lotus came from, where he has come from. But ultimately, with Lord's mercy,
Hmm.
he could see the source of the lotus, that is Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, at the end of the 8th chapter.
Right.
So
Right.
that is fine. So this is there. So this is there. The next,
Hmm.
in chapter 8, chapter 12, chapter 20, with Lord's mercy, Brahma did something. So in brief,
Hmm.
you tell me what he did and why he did. What
Okay.
is the active? What is the service of Brahmaji?
What is the?
What
Prabhuji, can you repeat?
what Brahmaji does? What
Okay,
Brahmaji
like
does?
he meditated.
No. That is preparation.
Right.
Brahmaji creates.
Yeah, Brahmaji creates, right.
What he creates?
Yeah. So he creates all the material elements and the
No.
living.
Elements are created by Lord Vishnu.
The Lord, the material elements are agitated by the mode of passion of the Lord, and then he basically the nature and everything is being created.
No. You did not remember.
Hmm.
It's basically
Huh,
using the same 24 material elements. Lord
huh.
Brahma creates various physical forms for various variety of living entities. So in
Hmm.
doing so, he encounters so many problems. So your
Hmm.
presentation should be all about that, especially from
Okay.
12th chapter. While doing all these things, he was continuously encountering so many problems and he takes shelter of the Supreme Lord. For example, first four Kumaras
Yeah.
appeared. He told them, get married, beget children. They said no. Brahmaji became
Huh.
angry. From that anger,
Yeah.
Rudra came. He said, my dear Rudra, kam se kam aap to
Hmm.
शादी करके बच्चों को पैदा करो. He begot children. The
Hmm.
children they came to
Hmm.
eat Brahmaji only. Brahmaji again
Right.
disturbed and he told Lord Shiva, please don't do this. Stop. Then he
Right.
begot 10 Manasa Putras. He told them to beget children. They
Hmm.
are also not willing to beget. Oh, because they are sages, they want to perform tapasya. Oh,
Hmm.
dheere dheere ho raha
Right.
tha. So like
Right.
that, you want to
Okay.
create as early as possible, as quickly as possible. You want to come do his seva, but he is not receiving cooperation from others. But sometimes positive response is there, sometimes negative response is there. But in all cases, he was always taking shelter of the Supreme Lord to do anything. Yet karoshi yadashnashi
Hmm.
ajyosh sadashet yatapasit kaunteya tatkurushva madarapanam. Whatever little one does,
Hmm.
one should be taking shelter of the Supreme Lord. That is what we can see from Brahmaji in this section. In 20th chapter, if you see, he was creating different variety of living entities, they were superhuman beings. The Devatas,
Right.
Rakshasas, So many of them are giving trouble to Brahmaji only. Yakshas, Rakshasas, they came to eat Brahma. And Asuras came to have union with Brahma. And like that, so many people are doing so many things with Brahma. So sometimes Brahma had a good experience, sometimes Brahma had a bad experience. But still, he never gave up his service. He continuously did his service. So that is the point. Why he was doing? Buddhindriya Manapranan Jananam Asrujat Prabhu Matrartam cha Bhavartam cha Atmane Kalpanaya cha. The purpose is to create a facility for us to fulfill our desires. Jiva had some desire to fulfill. So Jiva, for that, Lord has created material world, Brahmaji has created the material body, so that we can complete our business and then go back home back to Godhead. That was the purpose of creation of this material world with all the different variegatedness. So that was expected from you. That was your topic, and I don't know. Even many devotees also previously, I understood this mistake. Some devotees also responded. See, when there is a dot,
Okay.
dot matlab section, dash matlab range.
Acha.
So 3.8 dash
Okay.
13 and 20. That means Canto 3, chapter 8 to chapter 13 and chapter 20.
Oh,
And if it is
I
like
thought verses 13 to
3.8.13 dash 20, that means Canto 3, chapter 8, text number 13 to text number 20. So this nomenclature you should understand, because this nomenclature I use always in our questions also. Every question paper, every question के लिए मैं वो देता हूँ, वैसे देता हूँ.
Right.
Even one
Right.
more devotee also previously when they called, they had this confusion. So kindly see the difference between the dot and dash. Dash means the range, whether it could be verse range or
Okay.
chapter range. Dot means that division, canto, chapter, and verse. So in that way.
Okay. 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 So, Prabhuji, let me know if I have to present it again.
Devotees have any questions to ask?
That was a wonderful presentation. Mataji.
No, Prabhuji, thank you.
Well,
Okay. Somebody ask one question at least. अभी क्या है पूरा what is this cozy चल रहे हैं?
Mataji, you were talking about the lotus, like in certain kalpas, it is not lotus on which Lord Brahma erupts. I couldn't understand.
Actually, in one of the lectures, Prabhuji mentioned कि it's not in this especially in this where we right now this Kali Yuga, it is the lotus that has come out from the navel of Lord Vishnu. So it's not necessary. It's always lotus. It could be something else also. So that because right now it is the lotus, but it's called as the Padma Kalpa. That's what I have heard.
Not in Kali Yuga, in Kalpa.
In the Kalpa, the Kalpa is that entire range. So basically that
one thing,
Chaturyugas and
Shastra does not talk so much about what happened in the previous days of Brahma. Whatever has been presented in the Bhagavatam is mostly 99% is all from what happened today. आज का दिन क्या हुआ, कैसे हुआ, सुबह से. So today the lotus appeared from Garbhodaksha Vishnu's navel. That's why today is called Padma Kalpa. So what happened yesterday, उसके पहले क्या हुआ हमको पता नहीं. But acharyas say that yeah, Padma may come, may not come, but whenever Padma comes, it is also called as Padma Kalpa. Like that they say. So we don't know Padma comes or not, to be frank. But today certainly Padma came. That's why today is also called as Padma Kalpa.
Right.
Thank you.
Other devotees?
Thank you.
So devotees, please.
Prabhuji, whatever, Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, whatever described in Srimad Bhagavatam is one day of Brahma. It is morning
Yes.
to evening.
Not fully. At least from the beginning of the day of Brahma till now. अभी तक क्या हुआ? That is the majorly discussed. So what is going to happen in the future? It is briefly summarized in the 3rd canto, 13th chapter. The future Manvantaras. Only briefly few verses are summarizing that, but not in detail. We can see in the 12th canto, what is happening all the way up to 3000 years of the current Kali Yuga from the beginning of. So though Sukadeva Goswami is speaking Bhagavatam at the beginning of Kali Yuga, but he could tell what is going to happen in the next 3000 years also. He already mentioned in the 12th canto. That means almost 0 AD tak we have information. Okay, thank you very much, Mataji. So
Thank you, Prabhuji. Let me know, Prabhuji, if I have to present it again. I'll do that.
no, it's okay. So other devotees, please kindly cross-check your topic details and refer to the section properly, the chapters and verses. If you have doubt, please write to me or call me. So thank you. Yeah, please go ahead. Let's go ahead with the next presentation. The next presentation will be given by topic 7, description of the Vaikuntha by Haripriya Mataji.
Yes, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, should I start or before me someone else is there?
No, one Mataji is there, but she is not presenting.
Okay, Prabhuji.
You can go ahead.
Yes, Prabhuji.
You have a lot of slides and see if you can cover, or you can just pick and choose the slides and then accordingly speak. Yeah.
Yes. Krishna, everyone. Today's my topic is description of Vaikuntha. I just want to give just a glimpse. In Bhagavad Gita, we hear in one shloka, na tad bhasete suryo na shashanko na pavako. So this is just a glimpse in Bhagavad Gita that what is there in spiritual world. Also in Brahma Samhita, we hear Golok Vrindavan's description. Now in Canto 3, by Brahmaji's thing, we get to know about Vaikuntha. So before starting this, just want to give a previous chapter's glimpse. This topic came. So Vidura and Uddhava conversation, Canto 3, first 4 chapters are between their conversation. Vidura meets Maitreya, process of creation, everything is given in 5th chapter. Then birth of Brahma, prayers of Brahma and creation of Brahma is in 12th chapter. So now Brahma, after creating everything, he Swayambhu Manu and Satyrupa. And designating earthly planets for residence to both. Swayambhu Manu sees the earth is drowned in the ocean and he requests me what I should be doing.
Hare Krishna.
Appears.
Hare Krishna, one second.
Yes.
Hare Krishna. Mataji,
Yes,
your voice is not clear. Kindly take your device to a place where you can have a good network.
Okay, Prabhuji, I will. Yes, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, now it's clear?
Yes. When you speak slow, it is nice. When you speak fast, it is disturbing.
Okay, Prabhuji.
Yeah, you can go on.
So, so the Varaha which appears from Brahma's nostril is Adi Varaha or the Shvet Varaha. And he, Varahadev retrieves the earth. This is seen in the Swayambhu Manvantara. And then Maitreya Muni describes the second Varaha avatar also, and that is known as Neela or Rakta Varaha. That is in 6th Manvantara, Chakshusha Manvantara. So in this, he describes that Varaha protected earth and killed the demon Hiranyaksha. So Vidura asks, who is Hiranyaksha? So Maitreya starts the story. One, the daughter of Prajapati Daksha, Diti approached her husband Kashyapa for the union at a wrong time. And Kashyapa gave in, although initially he tried to pacify her, control her, counsel her, but he gave in. And because of the pregnancy of the Diti caused lots of disturbance in the universe. So Diti had the pregnancy of Diti caused darkness throughout the universe, and this darkness was over the 100 years, spread over the 100 years. So all the demigods seeing the darkness, went to Brahmaji, this in chapter 15, and they glorified Brahmaji and asked Brahmaji to please can you explain and solve this problem, why the darkness is there. So Brahmaji responded, I created this 4 Kumaras. The Prabhuji, can you start the slide? Yeah, this is the slide. So Brahma created the 4 Kumaras and told them to create the progeny. But they said they will remain small children and brahmachari and will become Vasudev Parayan, dedicated to
Mataji,
Vasudev.
go slow. Your voice is not clear.
How I can, Prabhuji, I don't know. I'm just speaking through the speakers. Prabhuji. Now, Prabhuji,
You go
I'll
to your
hold my
place.
to my mouth. Prabhuji, I am at a quiet place, very quiet. I have closed all the doors and everything.
No, it's not about quietness. It's about your Wi-Fi is not okay, and better you speak slowly. You speak slowly,
Okay,
so it will not get disturbed.
So Brahmaji instructed the 4 Kumaras to create the progeny. Prabhuji, the next slide. So these hearted Kumaras, inclined to spiritual realization, went to Vaikuntha. So now we start our shloka. So this is the 13th shloka where Brahmaji starts the description of Vaikuntha. So Egada Bhagavato Vaikuntas Syamalatmana Yayur Vaikunta Nilayam Sarvaloka Namaskritam. Shloka. Next slide, please. In this, Prabhuji, can you hear?
Yeah, we are able to hear you, but still disturbance is there. It is not proper.
Okay,
Mataji, if you are speaking slowly, it can be audible. Better you can speak slowly.
Okay. So in this shloka, Vaikuntha, what is Vaikuntha? Who is there? Definition is given here. So Vaikuntha is a resident of supreme abode of Lord Vishnu, and that place which is worshipped by all material planets. So now where it is situated, this kingdom of God is above all the material universes. Please, right? Yeah. And Srila Prabhupada in 25 shloka, he writes what is the qualification to enter Vaikuntha. So in Chaitanya Charitamrita, there are around 20 qualities in number, which one person he takes and it just elaborated in very short. He is very kind. He accepts consciousness as the goal of life. Everyone. These are qualities which are Vaikuntha planet. Please. Next slide. Next. Next slide.
Hare Krishna, there is one more mic is on. EJ, somebody else.
Whose mic that is? Prabhuji, now it's clear? Haribol?
The Vaikuntha BJ. I think his mic is also on.
Anashwar Prabhu, Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes. We are able to hear you. Mataji, please unmute yourself and then speak. You alone.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Prabhuji, someone else mic is open. Like, just can you tell them?
Now everything I muted all. You go ahead.
Now you can hear, Prabhuji.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So, Prabhuji, so this is the slide where we know where is Vaikuntha situated. So these are our universe, and the Vaikuntha are situated above all the material universes. Prabhuji, next slide. This is difference between Vaikuntha and the material world. Kuntha, anxiety, birth, age, old age and disease. And Vaikuntha, where we are free from all miseries and difficulties. Prabhuji, next slide, please. So now Brahmaji starts his description by describing the Vaikuntha men. So many devotees of the Lord, they have taken form exactly resembling Lord Vishnu. Prabhuji, next slide. Yeah. So these are all Parshads of Lord Vishnu who has all got Sarupya Mukti. There are 4 types of Muktis, actually 5. Sarupya, Sarshti, Samipya, Salokya and Sayujya. So in Vaikuntha, all these Parshad have similar forms to Lord Vishnu. They are all 4-handed and they serve the Lord with love and reverence. What is their occupation? There is no occupation but service of the Lord. And they worship the Lord with unmotivated services. So after description of Vaikuntha Vasis, Brahmaji moves ahead and tells what is there, who is there. Our Lord has been described here. Yatra chadya pumanaste Bhagavan Shabda Gochara Satvam Vishabdham Virajam Swananam Hridayan Vrisha. So, Supreme Lord Vishnu exists, receiving the worship of all devotees, reciprocating with their love and affectionate services. Prabhuji, can you just slide, please? Another slide. So, in Vaikuntha, the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the original person who can be understood to Vedic literature only. So, here in Prabhupada writes in his puppet that in this material world, if one doesn't have any money to go some far places, then he just goes to an authentic books and reads about it and understands about it. So similarly, about Vaikuntha and Vaikuntha Lord, we can understand the process only after hearing from the description of Vedas. Next slide, please. So after description of Vaikuntha men and Lord, now Brahmaji moves ahead. What you go and see there. So he describes about the trees about there. Yatra naishreyam nama vanam kama duger druma sarvatru shribhir vibrajat kaivalya eva murtimat. So here all the forest of the trees of the Vaikuntha planets are very auspicious. They are nothing but kalpavriksha trees. Kalpavriksha means like if you demand mango from a banyan tree, they will give whatever you want. Not only mango, but all your desires will be fulfilled. Prabhupada writes, the next slide, please. Prabhupada writes in his purport in this that Murtimat means that everything has a spiritual form. So all these trees are all Nitya Siddhas. He says in that purport. Prabhuji, next slide, please. Prabhuji, I told this. 17th. So after describing the forest, first Brahmaji described Vaikuntha men, then he described Lord Vishnu, then the forest, And now he describes the Vaikuntha couples, the consciousness of the Vaikuntha couples. वैमानिका सललनश्चरितानि शश्वत् गायन्ति यत्र शमलशपानि भर्तुर् अन्तर्जलेऽनुवीक्षण मधुमाधवीनां गन्धेन खण्डितधियोऽपि अनिलं क्षिपन्त. So Vaivanika means Vimana, airplanes. Salalana means beautiful concerts. They have their airplane in those accompanied by the concerts. But what is their, what they are doing? Charitani Shashwat. They are accustomed to glorify the Lord, their dearest master, while traveling in the private airplane with their concerts. So now in material world, somebody has one's own private airplane. He has his own space along with his concern. The desire for sense gratification will creep then in their mind. But along with their concert, the Vaikuntha Vasis glorify the Lord, Gayanti. And now when they sing, Antarjale, in Vaikuntha there are many lakes, many reservoirs. And in these reservoirs, there are Madhu Madhavi flowers, which blossoms and have sweet fragrance. And when the sweet fragrance goes in the nostrils of the Vaikuntha Vasis, those, they say, they condemned, oh fragrance, why you are coming unnecessary in our nose and you are disturbing us, our glorification to the Lord. We want to be absorbed in the glorification of the Lord. We don't want any distraction. So this is the consciousness, absolutely no inclination to enjoy on their own. So now, Ruji, next slide, please. So the human beings, the Vasis are there, the consciousness is like this. So how about the other consciousness of the other beings who are there? So now Brahmaji explains about the birds, and in coming verses he will explain about the plants and the flowers and about their consciousness. So they all are in pure consciousness without any envy and without superiority or any inferiority complexes. So in this 18th sloka, Brahmaji describes about the different types of birds. Paravatana Brita Sarasa Chakravaka Datyuta Hamsa Sukatiri Barihinamaya Kolahala Viramate Chiramatra Mucher Bringadipi Harikatham Ivagayamane. So Vaikuntha is filled with very sweet singing birds. Prabhuji, next slide, please. So we can see in this slide the various type of birds that we see in this material world, but similar, I just put the slide just to see. So their voices are so sweet. Their shapes are very beautiful. And out of the spiritual joy, they make kolahal. They make chirping sound, singing. But when they hear a bee just humming, they take a low profile and they stop and they pause their singing when they hear the bumblebee singing and glorifying the Lord. And they glorify that, saying that the wings of the bumblebee, when they flap, it is singing Hari Katha. And the bumblebee is very near to the Lord, as the bumblebee can go to the garland which is worn by the Lord. So what is the comparison of the sweet voice of the various birds we found in Vaikuntha compared to bees humming? But the qualified birds take a low profile to encourage the bees. So that shows there is no envy. Even in the birds of Vaikuntha have no envy. So here Prabhupada wants to say in the purport that the consciousness of the birds, animals, human beings, every single devotee have opportunity to render service to the Lord. They perform their individual service and allows this devotee to do his service with all encouragement. There is no question of envy or a superiority or inferiority complex or pride. No feelings like this. Every individual does his service in this capacity and is allowed in Vaikuntha. Prabhuji, next slide. 19th sloka. Yeah. So now Brahmaji comes and description of the plants are there. Mandara Kundara बोत्पल चंपकार्ण पुन्नंगा नाग बकुलांब पारिजात गंधेर चिरे तुलसिका भरणे न तस्य यस्मिन् स्तप समुनसो बहुमानयन्ति. Ruji, next slide. So you can see all the flowers like Champaka, Bakula, Parijata, Nakeshra. All these flowers have transcendental fragrance. And as everyone in the spiritual world has a form, so they worship the Lord with their fragrance. So, but all this of all the plants present in the Vaikuntha, Supreme Lord loves Tulsi a lot. So why he loves the Tulsi a lot? Because Tulsi has done so many austerities to please the Lord. And all the plants are aware of all these austerities done by Tulsi. So therefore Tulsi is very dear to the Lord. Recognizing this dearness to the Lord, Prabhuji, next slide. The plants encourage Tulsi to the grace respect. So here, one of Acharya says that the lotus feet of the Lord already have a divine fragrance, and the top of it, when Tulsi is offered in his feet, the mixed fragrance transforms the heart even of impersonalist. That we can see in the next chapter, chapter 14, 16, when the four Kumaras meet the Lord directly and they smell the aroma of his lotus feet with Tulsi and their heart is converted. So now we come to the 20th sloka where Brahmaji describes the description of Vaikuntha women. So all these Vaikuntha women, no, sorry. Prabhuji, the next slide, please. Prabhuji, next slide.
Mataji, summarize. Yeah, shloka
Yes,
only I'm
yes.
showing.
Okay, I'll not speak the shlokas. So now the aeroplane in which the Vaikuntha Vasis are traveling has been described. So they are bedecked with Vaidurya and costly gems, beautiful stones. They travel in the airplane with their consorts. Although they are flying in the aeroplane, their drishti, the concentration is on the Hari path, actually on the lotus feet of the Lord. So women of the Vaikuntha are also not like in this material world. They are very beautiful. But still, why the sense gratification doesn't creep in? Because in this sloka, there is one word, Krishnat Manam. Because they are absorbed in Krishna consciousness, they have completely dedicated their mind, body, words to Krishna. Actually, that means they have internalized the Krishna consciousness. So therefore, the passionate desires will not enter the mind of the Vaikuntha Vasis to enjoy differently from the Lord. Here, Prabhuji, I want to make one point which I heard from one lecture. So when the consciousness is very poor, then the sex life is more prominent and the pregnancy rate is more. Example, like in lower species of sex life of insects, they lay eggs over 100 or 1000 eggs at a one time, and lot of children or insects will come out. But when we go to dogs and pigs, they may unite, and in within one pregnancy, they may give 1 dozen of piglets or puppies. So here the pregnancy rate is little less compared to 1000 or the lower species. Now we come to the human life species. There is sex life and there is pregnancy, but once in a year. But and again we go to a heavenly planet. Pregnancy is not at all there or once in a lifetime. And when you go to Vaikuntha, there is no sex life and there is no pregnancy. That means the sense gratification on the sensual platform, the sex enjoyment basically is existence only in this material world. The more the sense desire is prominent, the lowest is the consciousness. And the more elevated is the consciousness, the least is the sex desire. So in Vaikuntha, there is association between opposite gender, but the desire for sense enjoyment is absent. So the Vaikuntha Vasis are very really elevated in their consciousness, absorbed in Krishna Katha. So now the next slide, Prabhuji. Now Brahmaji describes the Vaikuntha women. They are all as beautiful as goddess of fortune. And what they are doing, they are so beautiful, but still they want to clean the floors and the walls of the place where where they stay. So, and this is all because they just want Lord's anugraha. In this material world, all are fans of Lakshmi Devi, just want for wealth. But but her service in Vaikuntha is just want to have anugraha of the Lord. In these two shlokas of 21 and 22, how the bhakti is expressed. Now, in this shloka, bhakti is expressed to service. And the next shloka, where goddess of Lakshmi is described by Lord Brahmaji. Prabhuji, next slide.
Yeah.
So, Lakshmi ji has been described here, and what she does. Now, women are being described. Now, what Lakshmi herself does, she expresses her bhakti through archana. So, how does she does it? She does it through offering the tulsi leaves to the Lord. So, Prabhuji, I'm concluding very fast. Prabhuji, next slide. So now, after describing Brahmaji described the Vaikuntha man, the Supreme Lord, the forest, the consciousness of the couples, the birds, the plants, the Vaikuntha Vimana, all women and everything. Now, after all these things, he explains this is a falshruti of hearing about the Vaikuntha. So, in 23, 24, and 25 is the falshruti. So, first 23 and 24, Brahmaji tells who are not qualified to enter Vaikuntha. So, in this shloka, Brahmaji tells who has no inclination to hear Krishna Katha, and those who hear only Anya Katha, actually their minds are corrupted by the bad topics. Their intelligence is corrupted. Their fortune is always gone. And the essence of life is wiped away. So they can be thrown in hell because of the inclination of this sense enjoyment. So these persons are not qualified to enter Vaikuntha. And Prabhuji, 24th shloka. So in this 24th, Brahmaji again tells ki Brahmaji and Devtas also want to take human birth. Why? Because in human birth, we can attain the knowledge and dharma. It is always attainable. And with bhakti, we can also take our goal to Vaikuntha. But without bhakti, only with knowledge and dharma, those human beings only do all these things are not qualified to enter. So one point here are ki dharma and jnana devoid of bhakti are useless. So these are the two shlokas that one who is not qualified to enter Vaikuntha. So now at the last shloka, Brahmaji tells who is qualified. So Prabhuji 25. So those who are not qualified, those who are following the Lord.
Mataji, हो गया, time हो गया, 30 minutes हो गया.
Okay, Prabhuji. So, Prabhuji, one point I just wanted to make.
Please.
Last point. This is my last point, Prabhuji. So we think that in Puranas one hears momentarily appearance of the demons. So that should not be taken actually that is one is entrance into the spiritual world. This is example is given by the acharyas that as a king or the lord sometimes want to for the fun or for the amusement of the populace, lord brings material objects of ferocious demons or saintly persons like four Kumaras, Bhrigu, Durvasa to show the inhabitants of the spiritual world, to show them how the inhabitants of the spiritual world are doing, and he quickly take away. But when he brings his pure devotees to Vaikuntha, they are brought by the associates of the Lord in the aeroplane, and then they pure devotees reside eternally, and he does them taste them to make sweet abode and the service and the pastimes. So this is the description of Vaikuntha given by Brahmaji, and he explains, so these four Kumaras entered such a wonderful divine planet of the Lord. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Thank you very much for the nice, wonderful flow of the presentation. First few minutes you could not follow because of the disturbance. But anyway, devotees, any questions?
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Yeah.
there is mention of different plants and different bees and so on, but there is no mention of animals. So please comment.
So Brahmaji has not explained any animals over here. So I don't think animals may be there. This is very short description of Brahmaji. When the demigods pray, he just started telling what is Vaikuntha. So he doesn't describe it over here. And I have also not heard in any lectures from anyone that animals are also there.
Animals should be there or not? Animals should be there or not?
Yes, Prabhuji, there should be.
Acharyas consider the birds on the same level as animals. So in that way, animals are also included. In one of the notes, we mentioned that only the insects are not included. That means insects are not there, but all other species are there in Vaikuntha.
Okay. Okay.
So fine. If other
Hare
devotees
Krishna,
have, please.
Mataji. Yes, yes. Mataji, as you told with the jnana and dharma, if bhakti is not there, it is useless. And if bhakti is there, people can go to Vaikuntha. But if bhakti will be there, one will want to go to Golok Vrindavan. Why they will go to Vaikuntha? That is my question.
Mataji, everyone has different inclinations. Some may love Lord Ram, some may love Lord Vishnu, and some may love Lord Krishna. According to their inclinations, their mode of worship, the bhakti is not only for Lord Krishna. Bhakti means devotional service to the all the incarnations of the Lord. So some may like Varadev also, some may like Lord Ram, some may like Lord Vishnu, and some may like. So it depends on our bhakti, how we take up the bhakti towards which our inclination is to. In many of our ISKCON devotees also, many people like Lord Ram, and they chant Hare Krishna, and but their inclination is going towards Lord Ram. So what is their consciousness of developing towards their life, and their inclinations will decide where to go. That's my understanding.
Okay, Mataji. Thank you. Very nice slides, and Mataji, you did very hard work. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Okay. One simple question. See if you can remember. This I spoke at the beginning of the third canto, as well at the beginning of the fifth chapter also, when this creation topic began. So what was the need for, either it is for Maitreya or Sukadeva Goswami or Brahma, to speak about Vaikuntha in Canto 3?
So
Why they are
that
speaking about Vaikuntha?
so that they can have a glimpse ki how are the Vaikuntha planets there, and they can also have the inclination to go there.
Who are they? Who can have the inclination? Who can have the glimpse?
Who are Vasudev Parayan, who have that inclination, for the four Kumaras.
Krishna. Is that the purpose of Bhagavatam?
What, Prabhuji?
Is that the purpose of Bhagavatam?
No, Prabhuji.
Then?
You asked about then who had the inclination.
No, I did not say. Why Sukadeva Goswami or Maitreya or Lord Brahma speaking about Vaikuntha in Canto 3?
I don't remember, Prabhuji. You must have told, but I don't remember.
No. It's a general question. You don't have to remember also. See, simple. We are all practicing bhakti with particular goal. What is the goal of practicing our bhakti?
Love for Krishna.
Okay. So what? After getting love, what do you do? What do you want to do?
To go back
Serve
to
him. Serve him.
How will you serve
Serve
him?
him in his planet.
Sorry?
Serve him.
serve him. How will you serve him and where you will serve him?
Yeah, in his planet, either Golok Vrindavan or Vaikuntha.
Okay, okay. So, badi bhakti. See, simple. If you read Bhagavad Gita, from the beginning to the end, multiple times Lord Krishna says, you all need to come to spiritual world. All of us need to go back home, back to Godhead.
Yes.
And if see, if you want to go there somewhere, you need to know about it a little bit at least, if not completely. There should be some impetus to go there.
Yeah, I understood, Prabhuji, your question. Now I understood. Yeah.
अभी impetus कुछ है पता नहीं, आपको बोल रहे हैं कि जगह पर जाओ, क्या क्या होगा उधर, वो मुझे पता नहीं, कैसे दिखेगा मुझे पता नहीं, वो जगह है क्या मुझे पता नहीं. Then why you will want to go?
Yes, Prabhuji. Got it, Prabhuji.
It's nothing about Goloka, Vrindavan or Ayodhya or Vaikuntha and all. See, for us, they're all big things. Spiritual world. When we know about spiritual world, what's happening in spiritual world, we develop a desire to go there and be part of that. That is the intention. In the beginning of the Bhagavatam only, the desire is sown, so that we become serious in our practice of Bhagavatam, in our practice of Bhakti. That is the purpose.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much for the nice presentation.
Hare Krishna.
Yes.
Mataji, Prabhupada explain our temple, ISKCON temples are all are Vaikuntha. How you explain it?
Wherever Krishna Katha is there, wherever the glorification of the Lord is there, wherever the service of the Lord is going on, that is Vaikuntha. Even our homes become Vaikuntha when we serve the Lord in our homes as a deity. When we serve the Vaishnavas, when we serve our Guru Maharaj, when we chant Hare Krishna, that place becomes Vaikuntha. Haribol.
Okay.
Little correction. When we serve our family members, or when we serve the community of devotees in our satsang program or in our temple, just the way the plants, birds, the Vaikuntavasis are taking care of others, are giving importance to others, then our temples, our homes, our communities become Vaikuntha.
Yes, Prabhuji.
That is, I mean, at least my point to add to what you said.
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes.
We may serve, service will go on.
Yes, that consciousness, Prabhuji. Yes.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Danvat Pranam. Prabhuji, this point I couldn't understand. Please, can you explain little more?
I said, Mataji talked about the birds, for example. The birds can sing nicely.
What you spoke like now.
That's what I'm saying. The birds can sing nicely. But when the birds are hearing a bumblebee is making some humming sound, and the birds stopped their own singing and they allowed bumblebee to sing. That means some of the devotees here may be expert in doing so many wonderful services. But even a person who is not so expert is trying to do something, they will all encourage that new person and allow him to serve the Lord. That kind of conscience is there, then our place becomes Vaikuntha. Something like that. I'm just giving an example.
Yes, that is great, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
The nature of, I mean, at least I can vouch for it. The nature of people like us is always to see faults in others and to boast ourselves. But it should be other way. So, like that. Okay, thank you very much, Mataji, and we'll go ahead with the next presentation. We have 2 more presentations to do. Yeah, Prabhuji, please, your presentation is on. You can start.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat to all. And really, I am a little bit scared now, having listened, having listened the very heavy discussion. So first of all, I thank for Haripriya Swamini Mataji for giving the description of Vaikunta, because my topic is conflict resolution, and it is from third canto, chapter number 15 and 16. So she has elaborately discussed about the Vaikunta. So I'll move to uh, next uh, points. Here, in these pastimes, the personalities involved are Jai and Vijay, then Chatush Kumar, and then Lord Shri Krishna, Lord Vishnu. So Jai and Vijay are the doorkeepers of the Vaikuntha planet, and they were traveling in the spiritual world. And when they reached Vaikuntha planet, these two doorkeepers, Jai and Vijay, prohibited his entry. And Jay and Vijay, four Kumaras were surprised. Why? Why these two doorkeeper have stop us? Because this is Vaikuntha planet, and as we have heard more about Vaikuntha planet, here there is no chance of any calamities. And why doorkeepers are required here? If there is no chance of calamities, then nothing will go wrong. So they were surprised, and they felt that this is something arrogance of these doorkeepers. And these Chatush Kumar are the sons of Brahmaji. Brahmaji initially wanted to get them married, but they refused, and they wanted to seek the knowledge, real knowledge. And they are the Jnana Margis. So when the doorkeeper stopped them, there was arguments. In fact, in the Vaikuntha planets, arguments are very. There is no chance of argument. So, probably next slide. The here in this slide, the point is, what is the necessity of security when there is no chance of danger? Then why this security is involved here? And what is the threat here? This is Vaikuntha planet where there is no anxiety of any sorts. So Jay and Vijay, having seen the faces of Chatush Kumar, they also felt that something is going to happen, and they were scared. They were fearful. Probably next slide. They were fearful. And next slide, probably. They were fearful that something will go wrong against us. So they were looking at the faces of Chatush Kumar. And Chatush Kumar were angry because they were not allowed to enter in the Vaikuntha planet. And then they were stopped at the gate of the Vaikuntha planet. So then Chatush Kumar felt that this is not the right place for these two doorkeepers, because such situations are generally prevailed in the material world. So there is no necessity to allow them to stay here. Then they curse it. Well, this is not the place for you. You should go down in the material world. And with this curse, Jay and Vijay were very fearful, because they will be losing the association of Vaikuntha planet as well as the Supreme Personality, and they could not render the service also. So they were fearful, and they asked for some forgiveness. But during this period, Lord Vishnu says something that, Prabhu, the next slide, says something, and he appeared in that particular place. And he saw that these four Kumars were there, hmm, and his servants, Jay and Vijay, were in the guilty mood. And next slide, Prabhuji. Hmm. And in this situation, what Lord did, Lord intervenes, and he said to Chatush Kumar, because Chatush Kumar were the sons of Brahmaji, as I said earlier, and they were Jnana Margits, knowledge seeker. So they were not ordinary people, ordinary personality, and yes, and Lord intervened only because these were Brahmanas. The Chatush Kumars were Brahmanas, and Lord is particularly very attracted to the highest position of the Brahmanas in the society. And Lord also um, very respectful about other creatures also, that I will explain in the next slide. But Lord said that whatever the punishment you are given to the Jai and Vijay, hmm, I really honor those punishment. Nothing wrong in that, because you are the great soul, and you should not have been stopped at the gate of the Vaikuntha. Prabhu, next slide. Um, Lord consider himself as a servitor of the devotees. He is Bhakta Vatsal. In many incidents, we have seen that Lord has taken the side of his pure devotees. As Arjuna was about to be severely attacked by Bhishma Dev, that time he broke his promise not to participate in the war, Kurukshetra war, but he broke the promise. That is only because of he is Bhakta Vatsal. Even Prahlad, for Prahlad also, he protected him when he was challenged of his belief by Hiranyakashipu. And then he came out of the pillar and showed his existence to Hiranyakashipu. Even Dhruva, he was also very well protected by Lord. So Lord is Bhakta Vatsal. And here in one of the shlokas, one analogy is given why Lord considers Lord is taking the side of um, Chatush Kumar as well as um, for Jai and Vijay, because whatever the offenses was committed by Jai and Vijay, hmm, indirectly he has authenticated, saying that to Chatush Kumar that whatever punishment you are given, that is okay. And here this analogy is applicable. It says that just as a spot of white leprosy on the part of body pollutes the entire skin. Similarly, whatever has been committed by the Jai and Vijay, the offense against you, you all four. So I take the responsibilities. And thus, Lord tried to decrease, normalize the intensity of the situation. And as in previous slide, we refer one point that the Chatush Kumar and Lord give respect more to Brahmanas and cows. And for this best of Brahmana, the word used in the text is Dvijavara. Dvijavara means who is the superior Brahmin. And then cows, Duhatiha. The cows who give the milk is called as Duhatiha. And third category is defenseless creature. That means who are weak, who cannot defend themselves. That word is used here is Labdha Sharirani, Alabdha Sharirani. So, who are these Alabdha Sharirani? There are women, children, and old men. These are considered as Alabdha Sharirani. And Go and Brahmana, they are they are in the top order, where Lord is more attached to them, more favorable to them. And these all of the all these are, Lord says that this is my own body. So he is not differentiating. He is not considering them as an inferior. So let us move the next slide. So at this point, the Chatush Kumar also felt sorry for cursing Jay and Vijay, because they thought that they passionately did this. So subsequently, Jay and Vijay's punishment to live in the material world is little bit modified by the Lord. And here the word is used as kalpatam acharitaha. That means by reducing the punishment period on the earth. Because Lord, next slide, because Lord also wanted to play some pastimes with Jay and Vijay. So these are the arrangement of the Lord, that there is some argument among Chatush Kumar and Jay and Vijay. So after hearing Lord's comment on this, Chatush Kumar were a little bit surprised, because they were delighted. They were delighted by taking the favorable response from Lord in case of Chatush Kumar also. And but Lord's speech, it is mentioned in the shloka that the Lord's speech was difficult to understand by the sages, though they were very delighted. So even in the 7th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, 26 shloka, it is also mentioned that Vedam samatitani vartamanani cha Arjuna bhavishyani cha bhutani mam tu vedana kashana. Mam tu vedana kashana. That means nobody can understand me in full. So let us move to next slide. Now the title of this slide is Three Births of Jay and Vijay in the Material World. So we'll little bit touch upon these points. As a part of curse, Jay and Vijay took three births in the material world. First, they took birth as Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu in Satya Yuga. Their mother and father were Diti and Kashyapam. Then in the second occasion, they took birth as Ravana and Kumbhakarna in Treta Yuga, and their father and mother were Vishrava and demon princess Kaikashi. On the third occasion, they took birth as Dantavakra and Shishupal in Dwapar Yuga, born to King Damaghosha and Shruta This Shruta was the sister of Vasudeva. And it is very well known that the Shishupal was killed by Krishna when when he crossed the limits of 100 offenses. So, in the previous slide, I mentioned about this last point. It was also the desire of Supreme Lord to perform pastimes with Jai Vijay on earthly planets. Let us move to next slide. Now, here, this is the turning point in the life of four Kumaras. They were Brahmavadi. They were Jnani. And here, what happens in the shlok number chapter 15 and text number 43? Tasya Ravinda Nayanasya Padaravinda Kinjal Kamishra Tulasi Makaranda Vayu Antaragata Swavivarena Chakartesham Sanshobham Aksharajashamapi Chittatanvo. Translation: when the breeze carrying the aroma of tulsi leaves from the toes of the lotus feet of the personality of Godhead entered the nostrils of those sages, they experience a change both in body and in mind, even though they were attached to the impersonal Brahman. Impersonal Brahman understanding. Now, in this picture also, if we look at this little bit attentively, at the near the lotus feet of Lord, some white rays are coming out, and those rays are touching four Kumaras. This is nothing but these are the aroma of tulsi leaves. At the lotus feet of Krishna, lot of tulsi leaves are there, and it is the aroma of the tulsi leaves from the toes of the lotus feet of the personality of God entered the nostrils of those sages, and they experience, this is very significant, they experience a change both in body and in mind. So thus they become devotee of the Lord. From Jnana Margis, they move to the higher position, devotees of the Lord. Next slide. So, what is the message from this conflict? Because in this conflict, both the parties achieved win-win situation. The Lord has satisfied both the parties. Four sages, somebody is unmute, I think. Four sages and Jai Vijay. The material world is full of dualities. In material, one party wins, other lose. But Lord is well-wisher of all. There is no duality. So, Prabhuji, will you praise the key? So, Lord activities are always Anandam Buddhi Vardhanam. Whatever he does, he gives the pleasure, more pleasure, more pleasure, like that. So here the conclusion is that Lord has given the satisfaction to the both of them, Chatush Kumar as well as Jay and Vijay. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji, for the nice presentation. So, devotees, anyone, any questions?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam. Prabhuji, you prepared very beautiful slides. Your slides are very attractive and you explained it very nicely, very patiently. And the slide mainly you show about aroma is entering into the nose to four Kumaras. So they changed from impersonal Brahman to um, Bhaktas. So Prabhuji,
Yeah.
we also go to the temple. We also get the smell of tulsi leaves from the lotus feet of Lordship, but we never change. Like our position is like that. So why it is like that?
Yeah. See, we are in this material world and we are influenced by three modes of nature: Sattva, Raja, Tama. This is always there. Though we are practicing devotional service, still there are some elements in some percentage they are still existing in our behavior. That is why immediately we cannot be transformed like Chatush Kumar, but gradually we will move ahead. So that is the thing. So unless even Sattva, Raja and Tamaguna, these three modes of gunas, beyond Sattva Guna is also not highest. Beyond Sattva Guna, there is Vishuddha Sattva, which we'll never find in the material world. But when in the spiritual world, all the jivas are of Vishuddha Sattva Gunas. So till we reach that stage, how we can reach that stage? By serving the Lord devotees, serving the Lords, and trying to absorb their Lord's instruction into our practice, in our behavior. Then only we can go little bit on the higher platform. So, but we should try. In the Bhagavad Gita also it is said that Swalpam api asya dharmasya trayato mahato bhayat. Even our small endeavor in the spiritual practices will save us from the great danger. And in material world, this is always this is dukkhalayam ashashvatam. So to cross the effect or influence of this dukkhalayam and ashashvatam, we have to work hard. Swalpam api asya dharmasya. Little bit, so that we can move ahead. Hare Krishna. Hope it satisfies your query. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Prabhuji, for the nice presentation. So we'll move on with the last presentation for today. Hare Krishna. Mataji, you are there?
Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Yes, Prabhuji. First slide of mine, Narayana. First and foremost, I will pay my obeisances to His Divine Grace, Gopal Krishna Swami Maharaj, who is departed the world today. Now my topic is, with position comes responsibility. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. The first topic is Narayana, SB 3.5.1 to 12. I have not taken slokas, but the description of it. It's all mercy of Krishna that gave us the chance to render the devotional service. Vidura has many questions to ask Maitreya Muni about Supreme Lord, his avtaras, incarnations, how Lord created planets, habitation, kings, rulers, creatures and their forms and their activities. Lord Narayana, Supreme Almighty Lord, take responsibility for twice born, cows, and demigods. He maintains the material world with one of his amshat. Creation, maintenance, destruction, everything is done by Supreme Lord, and for this he takes various forms and arranges regulative principles for its maintenance. Lord in form of Virata Rupa creates entire creation in space. He expands into many entities. He is the master of all. Lord feet constitute the place of pilgrimage. So this is the position of Supreme Being. Vidura still is craving to hear about Krishna Katha. Maitreya Muni then says, your friend Vyasadeva had already described you about absolute truth from Mahabharata. Vidura then says that Mahabharata is Dharmartha Kama. So he's not interested into just and want to hear Harikatha. Vidura also asks about why devotees travel place to place. Devotees take responsibility of giving compassion to the people who enjoy independently devoid of God and they suffer. The devotees spread Krishna consciousness and spreads happiness. Here is a very good example I would like to give. Prabhupada's Leela in Hyderabad. In 1970s, there was a severe drought in Hyderabad. No water, kettles were dying, no food. And at that time, Srila Prabhupada had gone to Hyderabad for Sankirtan. Once the Sankirtan over and Prabhupada departed, it started raining. It was all over the paper that Prabhupada Swami came and he did Sankirtan. And see now that it is raining. That means being at the responsibility of and such a great soul, he did. He knowingly, unknowingly, he did his responsibility of giving a bliss to the conditioned soul. So the next, Brahma. This is 3.8.13 to 20 and then 24. All the living entities are waiting in the body of Garbhodakshaya Vishnu to get an opportunity to continue their activities within the universe. Lord being merciful, wants to give one more chance to living entities. In the due course of time, from the abdomen of Lord, subtle form of creation pierced. Garbhodakshaya Vishnu is also called Padmanabha as because of lotus that has come from his Nabhi. Brahmaji is the first creation of Lord Narayana. Brahmaji is confused and could not understand his existence. He searched and finally sits back, meditating upon Lord for 100 years. So eternal wheel is in the hands of Lord. Trinemihi, that is Trinemihi times Trinemihi, 3 dimensions. We exist in 3 dimensions and Krishna in the 4th. The time created embodied living entity and creates fearfulness of the death. There is a very good example on this, heard in one lecture, that the time is silently working. Notice is already given to the living entities, but ignorance because of the comfort of the hospital and the sense gratification and forget the time is approaching slowly. So now the responsibility of Brahmaji surcharged with the mode of passion and he became the second creator of creation. Next topic, Prabhuji, Manu. Swayambhu Manu. SB 3.13 to 22. The line of disciplic succession from Brahma is spiritual, but from Manu is material. Brahmaji is representative of Supreme Lord. and Manu is representative of Brahma. Manu is mind-born son of Brahmaji. In the position of first man, Swayambhu Manu and Shatrupa praying Brahmaji about the service to be rendered by them. Brahmaji was satisfied by Manu's prayer and ordered to begot the children. Swayambhu Manu's two sons were Priyavarta and Uttanpada, and daughter Akuti, Devahuti, and Prasuti. Those who marry, though for the sense gratification, also take the responsibility to satisfy Lord Vishnu. Swayambhu Manu is now praying Brahma that you have guided me, not only for me, but for my children born from me. So please designate the place where could I stay. In the beginning of Chakshu Manvantara, the earth was in Garbhodakshaya ocean because of Hiranaksha's mischief. So even in the troubled times, the devotees are not discouraged with a given responsibility. The devotees then depends on Supreme Person to direct them. The next topic, Kardama Muni. SB 4 verses 21-24. Kardama Muni. Swayambhu Muni fulfilled his responsibility of getting married Devahuti to Kardama Muni. Both equaled in their virtues. After taking the decision of marriage, Kardama Muni seized his mind and absorbed in Lord Vishnu. Devahuti served Kardama Muni with respect, love, and sweet words. She pleased her husband, giving all her material desires. This was realized by her husband. The duty on and the responsibility of Devahuti underwent with lots of hardship. She then desired to have children, and as a responsible husband, Kardama Muni begot 9 girls, a son incarnation of Lord himself as Kapila Deva. With his yogic power, he gave all the pleasure as a princess should get for many, many years, and finally left his hermitage after fulfilling all his duties and responsibility as a husband to Devahuti and the father of his daughters. After reaching the stage of Samadhi, he concentrated on the Lord and went back to God. Kashyapa and Diti. Next. In the 14th chapter of Canto 3, it describes about the pregnancy of the Diti in the evening. Kashyapa Muni is the great sage created by Brahma. He married 13 daughters of Daksha along with Diti. All the sisters of Diti got the children except Diti. She started approaching her husband Kashyapa Muni to give children as she was tormented by Cupid and wished to unite with Kashyapa. But the approaching time was not proper as per Shastras. In her position, she may be right to produce the children, but responsibly she was lacking some character, of which is described in 3.14.16. Prabhupada explains in purport that when a man or a woman afflicted by the lust of sex desire, it is to be understood as sinful contamination. So Diti is now responsible to give birth to the demons, Hiranaksha and Hiranyakashipu. Being a responsible husband, Kashyapa Muni pacified his wife. Why not to begot the children in improper time? But Diti gave all possible logical talk and overruled her husband. But then she lamented. She had faith in Supreme Lord, respected Lord Shiva, and also Kashyapa Muni. She got the benediction that her grandson will be Prahlad Maharaj, a great devotee of Lord and the son of Hiranyakashipu. Shri Prabhupada ki jai. I'm finished, Prabhu. Hari Bol.
Okay, Mataji. So your topic is sorry. With
With
position
responsibility
comes.
comes responsibility.
Okay, now these are all different personalities in your presentation. Can you please briefly enumerate? Matlab, not so much discussion, but just briefly tell in one sentence. What was the position of each person? What was their responsibility? Did they become successful in fulfilling the requirements of their responsibility?
Of all the topic,
For each person, can you please tell me?
so
You had four
Lord
people, huh?
Narayan, which one, Prabhuji? Narayana, all Brahma, Narayana, everyone?
For everyone, what is their position? What is their responsibility? Did they misutilize the position or they genuinely served in that position?
Lord Narayana is the Supreme Almighty Lord. So he has a responsibility as a creator. So he creates creation. He is the first creator of the universe. About Lord Brahma, he is the second creator of the universe. Before him, Lord has already created. Lord Brahma, he prays for 100 years. I mean, he is in he meditates for 100 years.
No. Don't get into all
so that
all
he
these
could see
details.
the Lord.
Mataji, don't get into all these details. Just quickly tell, like a table. Person name, position, responsibility, and some remarks. Bas, utne. No details.
Eternal will, the Brahma is the second creator, as is being the firstborn. That is his position, Prabhuji. And his responsibility is to create.
Create whom?
Create the jivas, like it is already been said into many of the lectures now bygone, all the birds, fishes, and everything. That comes from second creation of Brahma, animals, etc.
So
that
did
is
he do
his
properly
position.
or wrongly?
He does it very nicely, but beforehand there are some problems when he starts creation. He does this creating. The Prajapatis, first Chatush Kumar.
Wait, please. Don't get into details. You just explain like a small table. It should be maximum one sentence. You cannot get into a paragraph. So Brahma ho gaya.
So
who is the next person?
He comes under a lot many obstacles, but still finally.
No, forget it. Brahma ho gaya. Who is the next person?
Okay. The next is Manu, and Manu being the firstborn
Manu ka
of
full name kya hai? Manu ka full name?
Swayambhu Manu, and being the first creation, and it is his responsibility to begot, because he is also a Prajapati. So he has to begot. That is what Brahma want, the first man on the Swayambhu Manu, to begot the children, so that the material world can be under their charge. So he begot.
This much only Brahma wanted? Only bigger children?
No, he as per my this topic, I concluded only till there. I did not expanded on that particular.
Okay, next person.
Next is Kardama Muni, as everyone knew that he was a very exalted devotee, and Dehuti, Kardama Muni's second number daughter, got married to Kardama Muni, and as a husband, after the prayers and hardship of Dehuti, he was very much pleased, and
No details. Who is he?
So
what is responsibility? What is position, responsibility, and result?
Yeah, responsibility of Kardama Muni was to get married to Dehuti and begot the children. So being in too much of austerity,
No
Dehuti's
details. No details.
okay. Finally they begot 9 daughters and a son, Kapila Muni. That is
No
the result.
details. Next
This
person.
is, and the next is Kapila and Diti. Sorry, Kashyapa and Diti. Kashyapa Muni. Yes. Kashyapa and Diti. He's being a great sage, and again the Prajapati. He begot the all the 13 daughters, and the finally Diti. He gets 2 sons, Hiranaksha and Hiranakashipu. And being a responsible, he pacifies his wife about the demons, and finally also blesses her about.
Again, Mataji, please wait. When I say
No,
one line,
Prabhuji,
matlab
because
one line only, no details. Just one point you should tell that like that. You cannot keep on telling all the details. Forget it. So now you also had the same issue that Madhuri Radhika Mataji had issue. You could not follow.
Pardon me?
You had the same issue which Madhuri Radhika Mataji had. You could not follow the topic clearly. The topic says, with position comes responsibility. Examples are Lord Narayana. The reference is Canto 3, chapter 5 to 12. It is not.
Yeah, I have taken points,
No.
Prabhuji, from.
It is not. It is not. You have not spoken anything from chapter 5 to 12. You only spoke about Canto 3, chapter 5, text number 12, where Vidura is asking some questions.
You told me that it will.
The next one, chapter Brahma, Canto 3, chapter 8 to 13. But you spoke Canto 3, chapter 8, text number 18. You have not understood. See, I told last time also to the devotees, please call me or write to me if you have any confusion understanding what to do. Even if whether I gave references or not, it does not matter. All these chapters we've already covered. You have been given a personality name. Okay, now I'll tell you. Lord Narayana means Mahavishnu. What is his position? He is the primary creator. So what is his responsibility? He created 24 elements, and combining them he created unlimited universes, and entering into each universe as Garbhodaksha Vishnu, he created a universal form by which the universe can function. Are there any problems in his execution service? Of course, it's a painful service. Did he do it properly? Yes. Why? Because he cares for us. Next, Brahma. Who is Brahma? The Brahma is the secondary creator, is the creator of Visarga, is the firstborn living entity, and is also the spiritual master of all of us. Is he doing his service? Yes, he is doing his service best to the best of his abilities. Any problems? Yes, so many problems. How did he solve? By taking shelter of Lord Vishnu. The next, Swayambhuva Manu. Yeah, Swayambhuva Manu is the first Manu. He is also one of the sons of Lord Brahma and is the last creation of Lord Brahma. And what is his responsibility? His responsibility is, as the representative of the Supreme Lord, become the first king of the entire Bhuloka, take care of the human beings and all the other beings in the Bhuloka, so that they can practice bhakti and come back to Godhead. Did he do it properly? Yes, he did it properly. How? He cared for the people, he established a wonderful kingdom, and also he gave Manusmriti. The code of conduct all of us need to follow while living in this world, following the Varnashram system. And then next one is Kardama Muni. Who is Kardama Muni? He is also Brahma's son. What is his responsibility? He is a Prajapati. What are the duties of Prajapati? the duties of Prajapati is to beget proper children and also teach or establish a bona fide path back to Godhead. So Kardamoni, following the instructions of Lord Brahma, performed austerities and married to beget children. It did not end there. He went to 100 steps behind. He could beget the Supreme Lord as his son. So Brahma was much more happy with his service than anybody else. So as a Prajapati, the responsibility is to create progeny, teach them the path back to Godhead, and set an example to go back to Godhead. He did it. He went back to Godhead. If we follow in his footsteps, we can also go back to Godhead. So he excelled perfectly. And then next one is Kashyapa. Who is
Kashyapa and Diti.
Kashyapa? No, Kashyapa and Diti separately. Kashyapa. Who is Kashyapa? He is also Prajapati and he is also Saptarishi. That makes him all the more responsible to teach all of us to practice the sadhana and to go so that we can go back to Godhead.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Is he doing nicely? Yes, he was doing nicely. But here in the third canto, because he had favorable to his wife, so he made a mistake. And he said, I mean, there is no fault of him, but he had to listen to his wife, so that mistake happened. Not because of him, but it's because of circumstances. And Diti, being the wife of a Prajapati, she had a great responsibility for the well-being of the entire universe. Instead, she misused her position and forced her husband to beget a child at a wrong time. In spite of husband warned her, wait till the night. She did not wait. As a result of that, the entire world put into difficulty for so long. But still, she took the responsibility. She begged forgiveness from her and the Lord Shiva and time and the Supreme Lord, and she would not deliver the child for 100 years. She did not deliver. So she also kind of tried to postpone the misery in one sense. So this is what is expected from you to elaborate on these points. So the first thing, you misunderstood the topic itself. The verse numbers you did not understand properly. So no problem. But next time you don't make such mistake and try to understand the topic first properly, and then you can prepare accordingly. The topics were given 3-4 months back. So kindly understand it.
Okay, Prabhuji.
No. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Any devotees have any questions to ask Mataji?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Ah.
In this particular context, Prabhuji, actually, in our lives also, if we can get some, if we get some position, get some responsibility also, in that case, how we can overcome that from anarthas or aparathas. So we can elaborate on this particular subject also, Prabhuji.
For which topic? For any topic?
In this related, Prabhuji.
In this related, basically the topic is all about with position comes responsibility. When you are in one position, you have greater responsibility. Like Lord Brahma, his responsibility not only create, his responsibility to make sure that all the living entities will go back to Godhead. For that, he is working even today also. He will continue to work till the end of the creation also. Being the Acharya, being the Guru of a particular Sampradaya, he will continue to do the same thing. Continue to send Acharyas one after the other, one after the other. Continue to pray to the Lord, mighty Lord, please come and deliver these people. Lord Brahma appeared as whom? Chaitanya Lila.
Namacharya Haridas Thakur.
What was he doing? Before Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared, what was he doing? Yes, Prabhu. Recently, Gauri Purnima over. Devotees might have said about it. Before Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared, in Shantipur, Advaita Acharya is worshipping Shaligram Shila, inviting the Lord. In other place, Haridas Thakur chanting 192 rounds every day, unable to see the suffering of the conditioned soul, and he is also praying for the Lord to come. Because these two people prayed so intensely, Lord had to come. Lord obliged. Why would they have to do it? Whenever there is a problem, immediately Devatas will go to Brahma, and Brahma takes them to
Vishnu.
Sagar and prays to Lord Vishnu. Why? So this is their responsibility. This is the utility. This is how they are utilizing their position to do the needful for the well-being of all of us.
Understood.
Like that. That is there. Position does not come just to give us some money, give us some respect. Not no. Position comes with the responsibility. Recently, we were discussing. I mean, last point. Sorry to tell you, because I mean, since you are asking, I'm saying we were discussing 6th canto, one of the end chapters. So there, the discussion is all about marriage. And simple thing only. I mean, we can connect it to any other activity, any other thing also. So in the marriage, what happens? The groom gets the bride. Then from that day onwards, he will be called as the husband. That is the position. Maybe in the future, after children comes, he will be called as the father. That is the position. Society respects when a person becomes a responsible person, husband and father. Is that enough? Will there be any responsibility for him? What kind of a responsibility a person who has a husband as a father will have? I'm asking you only.
Yes, Guruji.
As a father, he has
Devotional service to go back home to Godhead.
Repeat.
To teach the children devotional service. To realize the human birth, to go back home, back to Godhead.
Okay.
Not
Good,
for
good,
material
good.
benefits.
Yeah. If you carefully listen to the mantras that were chanted at the time of marriage, the husband says in front of the fire, in front of all the devatas, in front of all the guests who are assembled during the marriage, that I will take the responsibility of this girl, the daughter of so and so parents, and the children who will be born to us. Through her, the children whomsoever he will beget. In relation to dharma, artha, kama, moksha. Of course, from the normal point of view, dharma, artha, kama, because while living in this world, we need to perform karma yoga. Karma yoga means dharma, artha, kama is there. But it is only dharma, artha, kama, not. Ultimately, everything should culminate in moksha. That means, as long as they are in this material world, I'll take care of them in all respects, and I'll make sure that I will provide the proper facilities for their going back home, back to Godhead. That is the responsibility of the husband. That one promises at the time of the marriage, in front of the Agni, in front of the Devatas, and in front of all the assembled guests. So position does not come without any responsibility in this world. Every position has a great responsibility. Sometimes you may realize, sometimes you may not realize, but it is so. So at least from Bhagavatam, we can understand from these personalities, how are they working very hard to do justice to their position, to execute their responsibilities. So we need to be inspired by that, and we need to do the needful. Not that all of us are not doing, but we need to remember again and again. We need to remind ourselves that we need to do more than what we can do, more than our capacity. So like that.
Thank you.
Okay.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So devotees who are going to present in the future, please read through your topic and understand what it is first. Then prepare. Don't prepare superficially. Okay?
Yes, Guruji.
Thank you.
Yes,
The
Yes,
references
Babuji.
are given just to help you. Even though without reference also you should be able to speak. When I tell the name Brahma, so about Brahma I should speak everything in just in 20 minutes. So like that. You don't have to speak about the introduction and later part because this is part of the exam. So you are expected to speak about your topic only. You don't have to go to so many details. Like for example, that Vaikuntha description, Mataji spoke about Varaha, Hiranyaksha, Hiranyakashipu, all those things may not be required. You can directly get into the topic because you only have 20 minutes. Better utilize the 20 minutes to speak your topic so that you can do proper justice to your topic instead of going here and there because they are not required so much here. So because you don't have much time, so better utilize your time for your topic alone. Just focus on your topic and get into it. No need to worry about the introduction and prelude, all those things. That anyway, others know. And no need to go through storyline so much. You are not expected to talk the storyline. Even for example, the first presentation about Vidura. So Mataji speaking about so much storyline. Of course, through storyline she draw the lessons. That is fine. But storyline you can minimize and focus on the essential principles so that you can properly utilize the time. So that is the reason. Okay. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you
Granthara
so much,
Srimad Bhagavatam
Prabhuji.
ki
Hare
jai, Srila Prabhupada ki
Krishna.
jai,
Pranam.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Anta Koti Vaishnava Bhaktivinoda ki jai.
Jai.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
हाँ हाँ हरे कृष्ण